Welcome to the Zohar class. Tonight, this week's parasha is Korach. This Torah portion is Korach. Very dramatic stories in the book of Bamidbar, the fourth book of the Torah. There is a lot of dramatic stories. It's not a history book. It's not a story. It's our life. And this week we are talking about character named Korach. Is so significant that the name, the whole portion, Korach. Korach was a cousin of Moshe Rabbeinu. He was a very powerful man. He was the head of the Leviim. And he was also the richest man in history ever. And another good point about him, I learned this week, that he used to carry the ark. You know, during the 40 years, they had a temporary temple. And every certain time, every week, every month, they used to move forward toward Israel. And they used to disassemble the whole temple and carry it. So the temple had the menorah, had the mizbeach, had tables, had a lot of instruments, but Korach was in charge of carrying the ark on his shoulder. Can you imagine how powerful this person was? What a level of respect and what a level of position he had. He used to carry the ark on his shoulder. We know how important the ark is, right? With the two angels, with the aser that he brought inside. And this Korach, he rebelled against the Moshe. How is it possible? Such a position, so spiritual, head of the Leviim. He was a priest carrying the ark. How he rebelled against Moshe Rabbeinu? And what was the source of this rebellion? And what is the solution? And again, Korach is within us. We want to fix that aspect of Korach within us. And the story ends with Hashem interfering, and obviously Hashem vote for Moshe in this disagreement. And then the Torah says that the earth opens, like there is an earthquake. This is the first time or the only time the Torah talking about the earthquake. The earth opens and swallow Korach and all his followers. They go deep, the deepest part of the earth, which is known as Gehenom, which is known as hell. So we're going to try to understand all this. And we're going to talk about trauma as usual. And as I promised, we're going to talk about hands. Ben has asked to talk about hands. We're going to cover hands. There's not enough time to cover also the fingers. So we're going to leave the fingers for next week. Before we're going to get to understand all this aspect of Korach, we have to understand where we are in a calendar. We just started the month of Tammuz, which is the sign of Cancer. Such a harsh word. We talk about this month for many years. I recommend you go back and listen to the old classes. And then we follow out another negative month, which is Av. We have the Tisha B'Av. So always the Torah prepares us for the next event. So we have two harsh months coming up, the destruction of the temple, and then the month of Cancer is such a harsh word. There's the two negative zodiac signs, the Cancer and Leo. So the Torah trying to prepare us, to save us, you know, for these two harsh months, so we don't get burned, we don't get hurt. The Kabbalist says, if I know it's raining, I'm going to take an umbrella with myself. So we have two harsh months coming up. How can I prepare myself? Month of Tammuz and Cancer, with this harsh name, is ruled by the moon. all the zodiac signs, 2 of them controlled by one star, one planet. Like Gemini and Virgo is controlled by Mercury. So Mercury's power divides by 2 signs. So every sign gets half of the power of the planet. Month of Cancer and Tammuz is ruled only by moon, so it gets the full power of the moon. That's why it's so tense. Also, the next month, the sign of Leo, month of all, of being controlled only by the sun. Again, these 2 harsh months, they're harsh because they are being controlled 100% by that star or planet. Those star and planet doesn't divide its power between 2 signs. Month of Tammuz, month of Cancer, is ruled by moon. What is the significance of the moon? The moon is only full 1 day of the whole month. So out of the 30 days, the Cancer, or we feel that something is lacking, something is missing. The only day of the full month that we feel satisfied is the full moon. Any other day of the month of Tammuz, we feel like something's lacking, something is missing, because the moon is not full. In reality, it is full, but in our perception, something is missing, something is lacking. I look at the moon last night. I mean, for the past 2 days was the full new moon, so it was only a small line. So in this month, we always feel something is missing, but only in the physical aspect. In reality, in the spiritual world, the moon is full. But when it comes to physical aspect, money and physical possession, we feel like something is missing, we are lacking something. I don't know, my car is not good enough, my house is not big enough, I don't have enough money, I don't look good enough. So in a physical aspect, we feel lack, and that's the source of the problem. That's the source of diseases, chas v'shalom. We learned in the past years that the source of all diseases, it starts in this month. So Hashem and the Torah, with all the love they have for us, try to avoid this disease, avoid this disorder. So the first was so important for me to repeat this class, because I don't want us to feel any lack in this month. Chas v'shalom, the feeling of lack is the source of all the problems. And the other feeling is confusion. You don't want to feel confused. So the first practice is to appreciate. I want to put a note on the wall this month. And during the month of Tammuz, I appreciate. Instead of feeling lack, I appreciate. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, the Creator. I have it all. I appreciate what I have. I appreciate my health. I appreciate my positions. I appreciate my family. I appreciate I can see. I appreciate I can hear. I appreciate I can talk. I appreciate I can walk. I appreciate I can breathe. So this is the month that we want to, instead of looking at the lack, is appreciate what we have. That's how we can avoid the disease. That's how we can avoid the disorder. And in order to diffuse confusion is to inject certainty. This disease starts from a cell being confused. The cell act abnormal. That's why this disease starts. So instead of being confused, I feel lost. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm coming from. What to do about this job, what to do about this relative, what to do about myself. You have to inject certainty. I'm certain where I am, what I am, who I am, where I'm going is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So in order to go through these 2 months in a happy way, in a good way, in a healthy way, is to inject appreciation and certainty. And we're going to read from the Zohar, peace. What's the end result of appreciation and certainty? Is to have peace, right? Shalom. The certainty and appreciation bring us to peace. Has shalom. Feeling of lack and fear and uncertainty and confusion bring us the opposite of peace. So the only solution of month of Cancer and month of Av is to be in peace, and we achieve peace by being certain and having shalom and appreciate. Appreciation is a fundamental secret aspect of success in Kabbalah. Appreciation opened all the doors of heaven for us. I gave this example before. Look at our children. You give them $100. He says, "Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to put it in a good use." Right away, you're going to reach your pocket and give him another $1,000, right? But God forbid you give $100 to your children and they're going to say, "It's not enough. This is not good. I'm not happy with it," or they're going to waste it. You're not going to give them anything else, right? So the appreciation is the key to flow, for the flow of energy, the flow of sustenance, the flow of fulfillment. So let's go to the lesson of Korach. Korach say a very interesting sentence in this Torah portion. On a verse 3, he says, "Ha'eda kulam kedoshim ubetocham Adonai." He says, all the people, all of us, we are holy, and we have Hashem, and we are connected to Hashem. So the great Kabbalists take this sentence and explain to us a great lesson. The Kabbalist tells us that everything in this planet has an angel. Even a grass, there is an angel behind it. All the trees, all the animals, all the living things, all the humans, there is an angel assigned to them that they're in charge of their growth, in charge of their transformation, in charge of their empowerment to keep growing, keep moving. If you look at nature, which is our great teacher, everything is moving in nature, right? Everything moves. The sun moves, the moon moves, all the grass keep growing, all the trees are growing, the animals are moving. So one of the basic fundamental formula of creation is movement, somehow we lost Behnaz, but I'm sure she's going to come back. So the movement is a basic rule of this universe, this nature. And we said there is an angel behind every aspect of living. What does this angel do? It's keep pushing us. The Kabbalists use the word makeh, heating. It's keep pushing us to keep growing. Yeah, Behnaz just texted me. I think she has an internet issue. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, she's coming back. So she's asking if the class still going, if the connection is fine. So we are good. So there is this angel in Hebrew is Makeh V'omer lo Gadal. There is an angel in charge of every living thing that hit, and he says keep growing. like a father and mother. Every morning we go to our children, we wake them up, we keep pushing them. Brush your teeth, take a shower, dress up, go to school, do your homework. So, like a good father and a mother, there is the angel in charge of all of us that keep pushing us, keep growing, keep moving. In a spiritual world, in a Kabbalah language, only a dead person stays still. Only a dead doesn't move. But as long as we want to stay alive, we keep moving. And we know about our body parts. This is known among the doctors that if we don't use a body part, we're going to use it, right? So the rule of this universe is to keep moving. And there is a section in the Zohar talks about angel. It says angel Raphael has 300 million times 300 million angels working under him. So that we all have angels that keep pushing us. It says it hit us in order for us to grow. Hit and grow, hit and grow. So who's the angel in charge of us? Is Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu in a bigger picture, he is the Matat, he's Matatron, he's the head of the angel. There is he has billions of angels working for him. And Moshe is in charge of us, he's our teacher. He's our spiritual father that keep hitting us, he keep pushing us to grow. What Moshe did throughout the whole Torah, he keep pushing Bnei Israel. He took them out of the Egypt. He keep pushing them, become more spiritual, become more kind, become more loving. He gives them the 10 commandments. He took them through lessons, through experiences for them to learn and grow. So Moshe Rabbeinu, his job is to keep pushing us to grow and learn and to become stronger. What is the argument of Korach? Korach says, enough, stop pushing us, stop hitting us. We already so spiritual, we already head of the Levim. Look at me, I'm carrying the ark. What do you want from me? Stop pushing me. I'm comfortable with my level. I'm good with where I reached. That was the argument of Korach with Moshe. Enough, we are comfortable. We don't want to grow anymore. Stop hitting us, stop pushing us. Obviously, we know that in this argument, Moshe won and Korach lost. There is no enough in growing. There is not enough that I don't need to learn anymore. That's so amazing. Before the class, you guys mentioned that we should announce, we should help others to come to the class and learn and grow. So there is no such a thing as comfortable spirituality. There is no such a thing, I reach enough. There is no such a thing that I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm giving, and I don't fight and I'm in peace. There is no such a thing. There is always room to grow spirituality. And it's not a choice. We have to keep moving. And the great lesson is that angel that in charge of us to grow, we said it hit us and asked us to grow. What is this hitting manifest itself in our life? If this week, I'm sure we all experienced it, you had any kind of a fear, if you felt like you are lacking something, if you felt like anxiety, if you had stress, that means that the angel was hitting you and asked you to grow. So the manifestation of this angel that keep hitting us is by us having a fear, feeling lack, having anxiety, being confused, stressful, that's actually the angel is healing us and asking us to grow. We are supposed to reach a spiritual consciousness of level that there is no fear in it, there is no lack in it, there is no anxiety in it. And none of us is there. So this angel, that's his job, to keep healing us. You have pain, you have lack, you have fear. That's the angel that is healing you, telling you you're not done. You need to grow more. You need to grow more. And it comes out of love and care. It's not a punishment. It's because the Creator and the angel wants us to reach our potential. So this is a huge lesson. Any kind of a fear. Can we put it mute, Bernard? So any kind of a fear, any kind of a lack, any kind of a pain we have is because of the angel is pushing us that you've been staying still for too long. You need to keep growing. If we have pain or fear or lack in our life, is maybe, I've been giving enough donations, but now it's time to be kind to other people. Maybe I've been kind, but I don't have enough understanding. Maybe I had enough understanding, but I'm not a good listener. Maybe I've been a good listener, but I'm still speaking Lashon Hara. Maybe I stopped Lashon Hara, but I'm not making an effort to learn even more. So it's a very powerful statement. Any kind of a pain, any kind of a negative feeling that we have is because we haven't been moving in a spiritual world, in a spiritual learning, or a spiritual behavior. That was a significant lesson for me. That was the argument of Korach with Moshe. Enough, I know it enough. I studied already this week's Torah portion. I went to Kenisa, the temple. I did my prayer. I put on my tefillin. Enough. How much? I eat kosher and I keep Shabbat. That's what Korach is. He says enough. But Moshe kind of says, no, it's not enough. There is more room to grow. The lesson is that we have to grow. If we're honest to ourselves, if we're truly honest to ourselves, we listen more to Korach than we listen more to Moshe. There is still relationship that we can work on them and make them better. There is still more I can do for my community. There is still more good feeling I can bring to my heart. There is still more anger and hate and controlling and jealousy there is in my body that I need to dump it. We have to be in constant motion. We always say that Gemini, month of Sivan, this is where we receive the Torah, is the most positive month, is the best month of the year. Why? Because they're always in motion. They're always moving. If you look at the river, when you look at the middle of the river, the water is always clean because always moving, is in motion. If you look at the water on the sides, it's yellow and it's stinky and it's ugly because it doesn't move. So look at, I don't want to judge anybody, but it's for the purpose of learning. Look at angry people, look at sad people, look at people with anxiety. They're not moving. They're always stuck in one spot. Oh, this guy did this to me, that guy did this to me, this country is like this. Everybody's cruel to me. And at the same time, look at the spiritual people. They love everybody, they accept everybody, they understand everybody, they're open to everybody. They don't choose and pick who to love. So, constant motion of spiritual growth. What negative aspect of myself I can correct? And we have to understand the danger of staying still. The danger of staying still. You know, spirituality is not either I'm going up or I'm staying straight. There is no such a thing. You either go up or you got to go down. It's like an escalator. You know, we give this example a long time ago. You either go up in spirituality or you're going down in spirituality. It's not staying still. It's like working out. As long as we work out, we grow muscles, right? We don't go to gym for 1 week, the muscle is gone. So in a spirituality, if there is no growth, that means we are going downward. So we have to understand that our spiritual comfort is not okay. We are not where we are supposed to be. We are not where we are supposed to be. Korach was carrying, out of the 6 million people, they give him the job to carry the ark. And the Torah is saying, look at the position he had. He was the head of the Leviim. Still, the Torah is telling us that he didn't reach his potential. He had more room to grow. So, maybe we do all the mitzvot, we do all the actions, but there is still room in our spiritual growth to grow. This angel of Moshe, our amazing teacher, he wants one thing from us: to keep moving forward, to keep elevating our consciousness. Enough with all these negative forces, enough with these negative actions, thoughts. I don't want to name him, but we know them all the anger and hate and judging and controlling and ego and feeling lack. So the purpose of this Shabbat is to teach us that if we experience any kind of a pain, it's because we are not moving forward. Moshe Rabbeinu, until 120, he was climbing mountains. He never got sick. He never lost his sight because he was keep moving, elevating in his spiritual growth. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. What happened to Korach? The Korach, not only he didn't get elevated, he didn't won the argument, he went down the earth. He went to, they call it the hell, Gehenna. The Kabbalists explain to us, hell is not that picture we have in our head that there's fires and there is no torches. No. You know what's in hell? Nothing. There's nothing in hell. There's no growth. There's no movement. But heaven, when we talk about soul, we always says elevate the soul, with the soul of the person going up. There's many academies. We talk on Shabbat. There's many academies in the spiritual world. Academy of Moshe, Academy of Aaron, Academy of Miriam, Academy of Metatron, Academy of Hashem even. So if we grow during our lifetime in this 120 years, our soul is going to keep growing, after 120 also. But if we don't grow in this life, after 120, we are not going to grow neither. We're going to be stuck, as for shalom, in this place that there is no movement. It's so funny that this week, the Torah is talking about earthquake. The earth opens up and swallow Korach and all those other people. I remember every year something happened in the world during the Korach. Many years we had earthquakes during the Torah portion of Korach, many years. And this year, we have this amazing story of this submarine, and today they said it sunk. It got 13,000 feet under the ocean, and who were there? One of the richest people in the world, billionaires. So look at the confirmation. Chas v'shalom, we don't want to judge. We are just using it for the purpose of learning. That, I was listening to the news. They said, yeah, these rich people, they never have enough. They have a lack, like Korach. It's because what this money can, they have all the money in the world, but they still feel in lack. I want to go to space. I want to go to the dark bottom of the ocean. I want to jump from the plane. I want to ride, elephant. It's like the money doesn't bring them satisfaction. A spiritual person, you give him a piece of bread, he said blessing on it before and after eating it. But these rich people, the billionaires, they don't appreciate all the goodness and they put themselves in danger. And it's mind-blowing that every year something happened during the portion of Korach that have to do with money or earthquake or a disaster. Something have to do with rich people, that they were not satisfied, they were not happy. If you don't find spirituality in life, nothing material going to give you satisfaction. You can go to the space, you can go to the bottom of the ocean, you're not going to feel fulfillment, because that's not our purpose, to be stuck in a material world. Our purpose is to keep growing, keep moving in a spiritual world. The tikkun olam, the correction of the world, is to create so much love and kindness and happiness and unity among ourselves. The material world is exactly the opposite. It's to be selfish, think about yourself, what kind of pleasures you can do for yourself. And the end, is we know the end. It's kind of heavy and deep, but there is such a thing it's so funny. It's exactly the opposite. A spiritual person on earth don't believe in death. But there is such a thing as death in a spiritual world. Death in a spiritual world. After 120, they said there is another death in a spiritual world. Who's dead in a spiritual world? Somebody that doesn't believe in spirituality, didn't have growth in spirituality. So whoever grows spiritually in a physical world, it's going to keep growing and being alive in a spiritual world. Whoever is dead spiritually in a physical world is chas v'shalom also going to be dead in a spiritual world also. So we must reach a level. We have to keep growing. We must reach a level that there is no pain, there is no lack, there is no anxiety, there is no fear. And that's our next level. If we have pain, is because I still speaking Lashon Hara. I'm just giving an example. Lashon Hara. I'm still hating somebody. I still angry. I still jealous. I'm still controlling. I'm still, they are full of ego. So if we experience any kind of a pain and lack and fear, anxiety and stress, because it's the good angel is hitting us, that you need to go to your next level. Such a blessing. Many times in Kabbalah, we learn that pain is good for you, suffering is good for you. The challenge is good for you. Now we understand why. Because the angel give us the challenge. The angel give us the pain. because we need to grow. We need to grow spirituality. We need to go to the next level. We need to push like crazy, not just when I'm comfortable, when I want to. When people come to us and they hurt us, I have to learn not to react, not to be reactive. We all know where we still need to grow. And I want you to understand that if you experience any kind of a pain, it's because of that lack. We need to listen to our angel Moshe, that he keeps pushing us, and not to listen to Korach, to be involved only in the spiritual, physical aspect. In Hebrew, the word earth, aretz, has the word rotz in it, running. Eretz means earth, and rotz means running. And heavens in Hebrew is shamayim, and the word sham, like there, is in the word shamayim. So if you put the word together, it's rotz sham. Start running toward the spiritual world. Eretz shamayim. Start running toward the spiritual world. The last sentence I have to say about this section of the class is never, ever be spiritually comfortable. Never, ever be spiritually comfortable. I have to see what's my next level. What other goodness I can add to my body, my heart, and my consciousness. I said this in past classes. The gardener, the mailman, the electrician, whoever knock on my door, I try to be super nice. You know, don't look down at people. Looking down at people, that means I'm very low in spirituality. Judging people, that means, I'm not mature enough in spirituality. So never ever think I'm comfortable. There is room to grow. Let's read from the Zohar. We are in book number 18, page number 225. We're going to read the section 4 and 5. Like at the beginning of the class, I said we have 2 wonderful months ahead of us, the month of Tammuz and Av, month of Cancer and Leo. It's a challenging times, and we have to keep appreciating, keep having certainty, and keep the peace, keep the shalom. So we're gonna read this section with this kavanah. We want to have the merit. We want to have the power to being appreciative, keep the certainty, and keep the peace. Don't cross your hands, don't cross your legs. We're going to read the Aramaic, and then we're going to read the English. ויקח קורח, מי ויקח נסיב איתה באישה לגרמיה, כל דרוף פטר דלאו דיליה, אייהו עריק מקמיה, ולא עוד אלא מה דאית ביה את עביד מניה, קורח רדיף פטר דלאו דליה אוויר, ואחרה לא רווח. Now Korach took, he asked, what is the meaning of took? He responds, he took faulty counsel for himself. What is the reason that we are not happy? What is the reason we are in pain? What is the reason we are not appreciative? We don't have certainty. We are not in peace because we take a wrong advice. It could be from other people, or it could be for ourselves, for our evil inclination. We took wrong advice. Let's say somebody hurt me financially, physically, or verbally. Right away, my evil inclination says, hit back, right? He cursed me, curse him out. That's a faulty advice. That's a bad advice that we take for our own evil inclination. So this Zohar says, don't take the wrong advice from yourself. Try to listen to your good inclination. They hurt you, close your mouth. They treat you bad, you don't have to treat them bad. Keep your peace. So don't take the wrong advice from yourself, from your evil inclination. If one chases after something that does not belong to him, it escapes from him, and he even loses what he has. This is a great aspect of appreciation. It's a very, very harsh sentence, very, very harsh sentence that I'm going to say, but it's coming from the Zohar, it's not from me. If we don't appreciate what we have, not only we are not going to get more, we're even going to lose what we have. I'm sorry to say this is a very harsh sentence. If we don't appreciate what we have, not only we're not going to get more, we're going to even lose what we have. So appreciation, who doesn't want us to appreciate is the ego. That the ego tells us have more and more and more. But the soul knows that you are where you're supposed to be and what you have, what you're supposed to have. If you want more, appreciate what you have. Korach chased after something that was not his. Therefore, he lost his own and no one else gained. So Korach, he had all the money, he had all the power, he had all the position, he was carrying the ark of Hashem he was carrying, because he didn't appreciate what he had and he wanted more. He lost, he never got it, and he lost everything he had. Now we're going to section number 5. Korach azil v'machloket, mi machloket, pulugata v'delaya v'tata, umiyan deba'i le'aflana tikvana de'alma, התעביד מכולהו על מין, מחלוקת פלגתא דשלום, ומיין דפליג על שלום, פליג על שמה קדישה, בגין דשמה קדישה, שלום אקראי. Korach turned to disagreement. What is the meaning of disagreement? Distancing and repulsion. The distancing and repulsion of what is above and what below. It says, anytime we get into the argument that is not the Shem Shamayim, is not a spiritual agreement, we are creating distance between ourselves and the Creator. You know, every person in this world has a purpose. Hashem created that person. So if I'm arguing with that person for the purpose of a material world, I'm creating distance between me and the Creator, regardless what is the agreement is about, the argument is about. And whoever wishes to postpone a repetition of the universe will become lost from all the worlds. Conflict is distancing of peace, and whoever is conflict about peace is a disagreement with his holy name, because his holy name is called peace. The Zohar says one of the name of the Creator, Hashem, is Shalom. We talked about this last year, right? One of the name of the Creator is Shalom. Shalom means peace. If you don't have peace, and if you create the distance between you and other people because of argument, that means you went against Hashem, against the Creator. So each time you are in peace and create peace, we are one with the Creator. Each time we create disagreement and space and argument, that means we are walking away, we are distancing ourselves from the Creator. We're done with this week Torah portion. We're going to talk about trauma. Wow, it's 8:25. Each time a trauma happened to us, Has v'shalom, accident, bad news from a doctor, physical challenge, financial challenge, right away, 4 things awaken in us. We start thinking, we start talking, we start feeling, and we're taking action. So trauma causes us awaken these four aspects within us. We start thinking, we start talking, we start feeling, and we are taking some actions. So what is, we just touched it in an earlier lesson, that after the trauma, if you're honest, right away we start thinking negative, right? We hear bad news. Something bad happened. Right away we start thinking negative. Right away we start talking negative, right? And we start feeling bad. Oh my God, look what happened, And we taking negative actions too. Start drinking, start smoking, running away, distancing ourselves. So a consequence of a trauma is we're taking these 4 steps. What are we trying to learn tonight? That I want us and you to be aware of it. Asli Shalom, something happened. There is a trauma. Tomorrow there is a news. There's something bad happened. A glass broke in our house. Something very minor. We go through a trauma. So we have to check mark our thinking. I learned in a Zohar class, if a trauma happened, I'm not going to start thinking negative right away. I'm going to pause. I'm going to say, Baruch Hashem, maybe it's for good. No, not maybe, for sure it's for good. Right? So we are not supposed to be robots. We are not supposed to follow our evil inclination. The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, wants us to think bad, wants us to talk bad. I want us to fight against the evil inclination within us. A trauma happened, I don't start thinking bad, I don't start talking bad, I don't feel bad, and I'm not going to do anything bad about it. Like I said, 90% of the text we get is negative text, right? I mean, a post we see, only 10% is good news. Why? Because this is human nature. We like to spread the bad news. That's not us, it's the evil inclination within us. So, to summarize, the lesson of trauma this week is anything happen, any news we hear, any challenge in business, any challenge in health, any challenge in relationships. I learned in a Zohar class, I won't allow my thought to go negative. I deal with the situation. I don't mean to be a potato or to be run away. I deal with the situation, but I'm not going to think about it in a negative way. I'm not going to talk about it in a negative way. I'm not going to talk about it, period. And I'm not going to feel bad. Hashem has a plan that I don't see it now. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to feel bad. My job is not to feel bad. And don't be reactive. Don't take any action. Something bad happened. Oh, I'm going to leave town. Or a person was not nice to me. I'm not going to disconnect my relationship with him. No action. So the lesson is, after a trauma, after a tense situation, I'm in control, not the evil inclination, not the Yetzer Hara. I'm in control, running the show, not the evil inclination. I shared an amazing wisdom this Shabbat, and it was not recorded, so I'm just going to share it quickly. There is a lesson about children. I promised Benas we're going to talk about it. There is a lesson about children. The soul of every child assigned 1 year before the conceivement. The soul of a child assigned to that body, to that child, 1 year before the conceivement. So the first, when I learned this lesson, it was such a powerful lesson. I told myself, I met my wife and we married within 5 months, and she was pregnant before the even 1 year. So how is it possible? I don't know my wife, and already the soul from our children is assigned. So when you look at it, the children cause the parents to meet. The children are the reason that the parents met and they had that child. Let's say Hashem has a plan in 2024, Los Angeles is going to need a doctor, right? We're going to need more doctors in 2042, for example. So Hashem has this master plan that we need more doctors in 2024. So what he's going to do, he's going to prepare this soul that born now in order for them to be doctor in 2042. So he's going to create a scenario, that child going to create a scenario for the parents to meet and have that child, and that child going to go through the school and become a doctor, because Hashem knows in 2042 we need more doctors. So Hashem created us for a purpose, for a reason. We have a job to do. And in order for us to be created, he make our parents to meet. So after the class, close your eyes and think about this subject. Are we really in control? Are we really have a say in this life? You know, of course, Hashem doesn't want us to be robots. He wants us to have a joy and pleasure and love. And the point I want to get into is that there is plan for everything. We are part of this massive, computer plan, and we are part of it. So instead of fighting the plan, instead of fighting, the reality, appreciate and be joyful and do your job. So it's called Tselem. Tselem is that aspect of the soul of every person. So as the Creator assigned Tselem, the soul for all of us in this world. And because we have a job to do, it caused our parents to meet. So each time you feel lost, each time you don't understand something, each time you feel like lacking something in our life, think about this sentence, that we cause our parents to meet, or Hashem created our parents to meet in order for us to be born. And stop sweating so much about this word. Such a powerful lesson, that the child caused the parents to meet. The last aspect of our tonight lesson, we promise we're going to talk about a body part each lesson, why we have pain or why we have problems in certain body parts. Today we're going to talk about hands and arms, and we don't have enough time, and Bezrat Hashem next class we're going to talk about fingers. It's very exciting. I read it, but we're going to talk about it. So the Kabbalists distinguish between right arm and the left arm. In general, the right arm is related to our father, and the left arm is related to our mother. The right arm is connected to chasadim, kindness, and love, and giving. And the left arm is connected to judgment and the growth and the spiritual growth we need to do. So let's talk about the right arm first. The right arm is trouble reaching an agreement with someone, as there may be a lack of trust. He said, if we have problems in our right arm because we cannot reach agreement and there is lack of trust to certain person. Fear of betrayal. if we have a fear that they're gonna betray us, we have pain in our right arm. Do not have the personal power or confidence to follow through project or personal goals. Do not have the personal power or confidence to follow through a project and personal goal. Feeling control or trapped. Feeling control or trapped. With nowhere to hide. With nowhere to hide. That's why the cause of a pain in the right arm. They said there was a father figure in your life that controlled your ability to make decisions. If there was a father figure that controlled our ability to make decisions. This is a very powerful sentence, and that's the last sentence about the right arm. You have a fear of making a mistake in the eyes of your father. You have a fear of making a mistake in the eyes of your father. Doesn't matter if our fathers are here or they are in the next world. Okay, let's talk about the left arm. You may feel and you do not have enough personal power and confidence to execute a task. Personal power and confidence to execute a task. You don't feel supported in your goals and projects. How did your mother behave when she had tasks to do? You know, if our mothers were weak, if our mothers were like confused, or if our mother didn't have confidence, it's passed on to us. Did you feel unworthy or not good enough in life? This is the most important part. In a book of Pinchas, in Parashat Pinchas, we talk about heart and chas v'shalom heart diseases. You know, we don't cause the heart diseases. The Satan, the negative force, cause heart diseases. And chas v'shalom heart diseases is relate to the left arm, right? And if we allow Satan, which is lack of spirituality, to our life, then chas v'shalom heart diseases develop. This sentence is very powerful about the left arm. You do not nurture your spirituality. Instead, you feel dictated to the greatly influenced by the beliefs and the value of the material world. So problems with the left arm, which is related to the heart, is that we are not growing spiritually. And we dedicate ourselves solely to the spiritual and material world. This is how far we're going to take the class. Thank you very much. Love you guys, and Shabbat Shalom, and see you on Shabbat. Thank you very much. Toda Rabba.